it's Nikki. So I am recording this before I go to Japan so that you will have something to watch today. So I got a couple of questions and I get them here and there whenever you guys see the sewing journal. And you guys want to know what's in it. So it's nothing special. There's a lot of people out there who have some really good ideas for how to plan their makes, and they have like printouts. My mom has actually gotten some of those and she likes them. So I can't remember who she got. I think she got Athena Cacao. Athena. She has Athena's printable. But I don't really plan like that. What I do though is kind of like a post-mortem on my makes. And so what this book is for, and there's no like formula for it, it's not like pretty, of course I flipped open to the only blank page that there is. That's what I do. So basically, the types of things that I put in here are, what the pattern, company number, the size that I went with, and the view that I made. And I put a little swatch of what I ended up making the garment out of, and then I put notes in there. So I will open this up to an example. Oh, okay. So here's an example of Simplicity 1072, which was a sweatshirt that you guys have never seen. I made it before I even started these videos. So here is an example of my notes for this page. Right here and here are my swatches because I made it out of 2 different fabrics. So what did I say about that? No muslin, didn't make one. Fit is a little baggy, which is okay. Would have cut a smaller size in the back or used a similar weight fabric to color block. Yeah, because there are wildly different amounts of stretch and weight. Back panel sticks out, can see from the front. So basically, and I remember, see, my memory has been jogged, and I do wear this in the winter time. I also wrote that I need a serger and that the sleeves are extremely long, but I liked how big the neckline turned out. So it ended up having like a wider neckline than I thought it would. But if you look at these 2 fabrics right here, this one is a lace covered non-stretch fleece, and this one is a super stretchy, I don't know what, some sort of jersey. I think it came in a mystery bundle or some sort of variety pack of fabric or whatever, and I had a lot of it. But they look nice together. But what ended up happening was I had a back panel that I made out of the gray non-stretch fleece, and then because the pink stuff didn't have enough body, and it was an oversized sweater, you could see as I was standing the back of it sticking out from the front. So it wasn't my most successful thing, but I wear it around the house sometimes, so it's, keepable, and the fit was good on it, but it's a sweater, so an oversized sweater at that, so how hard can that be? So anyway, so now I know that if I make it again, I need to watch out for those sleeves because they're way too big, and try and match my fabrics better, but this was fairly early on in my sewing journey, and it's just like a nice way to jog my memory. So yeah, I have look, do you guys remember this shirt? The one that I tried to make out of this stuff right here? And I said it was a total, maybe you don't, maybe I never even showed it to you. It was the disaster shirt, the one that went horribly wrong. I remember it like it was yesterday. And all I have to do is look at this page, and I think what I wrote on it was fail in giant letters right here, and then could not figure out front fly because I couldn't. So there you have it. So that's why I do this stuff. But then also, I like to know if I'm going to remake something, and because sometimes I don't always make changes to my pattern piece. Sometimes it's a matter of, oh, the knit sleeve was a little bit baggy, so I just zipped it in a little bit along the seam line and tapered out to nothing at the underarm. So sometimes I do stuff like that, and I will write it in this book, but I won't necessarily change the pattern piece. Sometimes I forget, sometimes I'm too lazy to take them back out of the envelope once I've taken the time to fold them all tiny and stuff them back in. So stuff like that happens. Sometimes my size will have changed significantly from where I started, and like the things in the beginning of the book, I would not be able to make that size again because I have changed measurements since then. And that's one of the things that will help me. So I know that if I traced it and made adjustments to it, I might have to take them away now, or at least be vigilant. I might have to retest it and see if it even, like, if the pattern pieces, if I cut them out, are they even makeable anymore? You know, so that's the kind of information I go to. That, and at the end of the day, it's a really nice record of what I've been up to. So there's a lot of makes covered in this book, and my TNT pattern box does not have nearly this many things in it, right? So if I'm going through my patterns again and I find one that I know that I've made before but isn't in the TNT box, it means it probably didn't go as well as I wanted it to, or something. So I can just look it up in this book, because just having this swatch in here, I'm going to know exactly. I will remember crystal clear what it is that I made. That is why I keep a book like this. Like I said, I don't plan in that way. My planning is more of a different thing, which I will cover in a video very soon when I go through my patterns and get out all of my fall patterns, because it's getting to be that time, guys. We're getting there fairly quickly. Yeah, so I like to be able to, if I am going to pull out a pattern that I've made before, I check the book first and see, what did I do? Did I change this pattern? Do I want to keep those changes? Did I like what I made? You know, and usually I have a good idea of whether I liked it or not. But for instance, on that Butterick dress, my old standby, you've seen it in several videos now. It's like a sheath dress, like a sack. I didn't use any of the facing pieces. I didn't use any of them at all. I just used bias tape, and I had forgotten that. When I was pulling it out to make a second one, I was like, oh, why are there facing pieces? This thing doesn't have a facing. It does have a facing, I just chose not to use it. I also chose on the second go around not to put the button loop in. I wrote in the book that I didn't need it. So yeah, so that's what it's for. There's no big secret. That's what's in here is, so whenever I pull this book out, that's all it is. It's just random notes that I've written to myself, what I did to the pattern to change it, things that went well, things that went poorly. Was the fabric any good, especially if I have leftovers, you know, what am I going to do next time? Have I made more than one? Here's my jacket, here's one of them, and here's the other fabric that I made it out of, including the bias tape that I used. Yeah, basically, some of them don't have that many notes. Yeah. So, that's all. That's all it is. It's that simple. If you have any questions that I didn't cover in here, I will answer them down below if you ask them. So that is the sewing journal. I hope you got something from that. Consider making one for yourself. This was an old lab notebook from my chemistry class that I ripped the chemistry pages out and turned into a sewing notebook. You can do it with anything. All right, that's it. Bye.